Hello and welcome to another Pastor's Day Off video. It's been a couple of months since I've actually put one of these on. It's a bit overdue for reasons that I'll explain in a moment. But here I am at St Olave's. I'm sat in my car to start with, partly because it's warmer in here than it is outside. And so I'm staying warm while I've got the chance. But I'm down here today because I need to go and check up on the boat. I haven't actually been down here for a good couple of months. As far as I know, the boat is still afloat. I'm hoping that I find it still afloat. But we've actually had, my wife and I have had a couple of very busy months. We've been doing an awful lot of travelling. And also we've had a little bit of a distraction because we've got involved in a hobby that we've been wanting to get back involved with for many years. But I'll tell you about that in a minute, and I'll see if I can get your reaction upon it. But the task today, well, there's two tasks today actually. The first is obviously to go and check the boat over. I do need to get the sails off so that I can take them home. This is rather later in the year than I would normally do that. This is December the 3rd. That's how busy we've been. I've not been able to get down here. Also make sure the engine's okay and anything else. I'm sure it's all going to be fine, but just making sure the boat is ready for winter. But the second task is this. Of course, coming up to winter, that's very often the time that you start making decisions about next season. And one of the things that I've been toying with in my mind for the last couple of months is whether to actually move the boat to another mooring location, other permanent location. Partly because there are bits of the Broads that at the moment we're not using, we're not exploring. Largely because when we go out on a day out, it would mean that we would have to lower the mast. Now, whilst that's not a major problem, it does still create a bit of a limitation. If you're not feeling up to doing that, then you are somewhat restricted. So after I've taken the sails off the boat now, and after I've checked the boat over, I'm going to go off and actually check out another location. There's a couple of marinas down at Burghcastle, and I just want to go and check them out because that would at least place us in proximity to Breydon Water, and therefore an easy access to the Northern Broads. But we can do a good bit of sailing on Breydon Water, but it would also make it easier for us to get from there up onto other parts of the Southern Broads that we haven't actually explored yet. Now, coming back to this other hobby, one of the things that my wife and I used to do before we even met in our younger years was target shooting. And it's something that over the years we've wanted to get back into, and now we've got the opportunity to do it. And so we've actually begun doing target shooting at a local club, and we're enjoying it, both with air rifles and also with UK legal firearms. And the reason that I'm telling you that is because I want to get your feedback on it. I've been also wondering whether that's something to include in this channel, because it also constitutes part of Pastor's Day Off, or whether I have a separate YouTube channel. If it's something that you might be interested in, or you might think that other people might be interested in seeing, then please let me know. Tell me, and then I will make a decision on it and possibly include that as well. But for now, there's work to be done. I need to get out this car. It is a bit cold out there. It has been getting cold. It's about 2 degrees out there, but work must be done. So let's get over to the boat and get these things done as quick as we can. Well, it seems to be a nice calm day down here at St Olave's today, and there she is. Sovereign Grace, she is still afloat. All the right bits above the waterline are still above the waterline, but of course I need to get on board and check inside. Well, the first thing that I observed getting on the boat is actually a little bit of a worrying sign, because I don't normally leave my hatchway like that, which makes me wonder why it's like that, which I wonder whether somebody's been trying to get on my boat. Now normally I don't have a problem with this, and certainly not here at Summer Later. And in fact, the bizarre thing is, if somebody has been trying to get on the boat, I have noticed that I left my my winch handle down there, which I shouldn't have done, which is something that can easily be taken. But why has that been left like that? Because that certainly wouldn't have been me. Well, let's open her up and make sure that everything is as it should be inside. Okay, well, I've just come inside and there doesn't appear to be anything out of place. Yes, the boat's a little bit untidy because of the last time I used it, and I haven't had a chance to get down and tidying it up at all. But the most important thing for me is that the floor is nice and dry, with the hatchway being left open slightly like that. It does suggest that some rain might have been able to get in, but I'm sure I may be reading more into it than I should, but I certainly know that I don't leave the hatchway like that. So it's a mystery probably that I'm never going to get to the bottom of. Anyway, we're here now, and of course I want to make sure everything's okay. I want to check the engine over, and I want to get these sails off. We'll come into the engine bay, and that's always a good engine. That's a lovely engine on this boat, by the way. It's a 2-cylinder Volvo, although Perkins diesel, only 500cc I believe, but it does push the boat along about 5 or 6 knots when you really want to push it, which is quite acceptable. But in here, obviously, the couple of things that I want to check. First of all, that the batteries are okay, because again, I haven't been here for a couple of months, but I'm sure they're fine, and the indicators on them are green. But also, of course, the very obvious thing is that we've got some of the black stuff in it, and we've clearly got plenty in there. And so now we can actually get on and start her up and make sure, give her a little bit of time to warm up and make sure she's running okay. So I've just switched the batteries on, given a little bit of gas. So let's see if she'll start. Obviously we've got to warm her first. Just do that for a few seconds. Okay, let's give it a try. There we go. Well, I think she's going to need a little bit more gas than that. Let's just give her a little bit more. Well, having got the engine started, it seems to be running fine, and I can hear the water coming out the exhaust, so there's no problems with the cooling system. But now the job is to get that sail off and get it stowed away. I've just actually taken the sails out of the sail locker, and I can already tell that things are getting a bit damp in there, so I've probably left this too long, but hopefully I can get them home in the warm and repack them, dry them out and repack them over the winter. So I'm not going to bore you with this because you've seen it before, it's on a previous video, so I'm just going to get on with it and then we'll go on to the next bit. Well, there you are. It didn't take very long. I didn't think that it would, but I've removed the mainsail now, and everything is stowed back in the bags. It's all going to have to be unpacked later on when I get home so I can check the sails over properly, but at least that's done. I've checked the engine over. Everything on the engine is running fine. The batteries are fine. And I've checked round the boat to make sure that everything is dry and as it should be, and at least for the moment I can leave things as they are. So I'm going to go and get a trolley now to get these sails back to the car, and then we'll go on with the next part of the task today, which is going out and hopefully checking out somewhere else that I can moor the boat. Well, I'm once again back in the warmth of the car, having managed to get the sails in the boat, and now we're going to head just a few minutes down the road. We'll go and check out these marinas at Birr Castle. Well, here we are at Good Childs Marina. Most of you will have, if you've been on the Southern Broads, will have passed by this on your way between the Southern Broads and Breydon Water. And it's a lovely day down here. Look at this, absolutely gorgeous, and you wouldn't believe that it's now into December, but yeah, this is where we have been looking. If I bring you down here, this is the River Waveney as it goes up towards St Olives, where the boat currently is. And of course it only took me about 10 minutes to come down here by car. It usually takes about an hour to get down here when we're on the boat. But yeah, it's a lovely place, and there are moorings available. In fact, where I've got the camera pointed at the moment, that's going to be our mooring. It's absolutely spot on. It's what we need, and it fits the boat in nicely, and I have to say it's considerably cheaper. But the other reason, of course, why I want us to be here is if I go back over this way, this will be again a familiar sight to most of you who have come this way, and it's usually at this point as you're on your way down to, sorry about the noise in the background, I hope you can still hear me. They're just about to put a boat in the water here, but it's at this point usually that you begin to see the post down there for Breydon Water. And for us, that's actually one of the reasons why we wanted to be here, because if we want to go out and do a bit of sailing and we want to have a decent bit of water to sail on without having to do too much tacking, of course we can just simply go down onto Breydon Water there. And that, yes, we have to keep between the posts, but it also gives us maybe a little bit of a transition between river and possibly later on going out to sea. It perhaps a bit more of a safer environment to hone our sailing skills and to get ourselves in the place that we want to be. But of course also there, just beyond the post, going off to the left, you've got the continuation of the River Yar that goes all the way up to Norwich, and of course the only thing we would have to do if we wanted to head up that direction is pass through the swing bridge at Reedham. So even there we wouldn't have to actually lower the mast unless we wanted to go into Norwich itself. But this is it, this is where we're going to be, and I think it's a wise decision on our part. It's a bit different, but it's a nice area, and probably a bit more exposed weather-wise, but that just means we've got to make sure that the boat is firmly tied up. But this is where we're going to have our boat, and hopefully that will mean that we can film different bits of the river than we have in the past, and so change the nature of the videos a little bit, and not just cover the same old ground. And of course the other thing we've got here is the Fisherman's Inn. It is still open, I believe, and that's also quite a popular spot for those who want to stop either on their journey up through Breydon Water or on their journeys down from St Olives. But anyway, that's enough for now. I'm going to end things there. Thank you for watching, and hopefully very soon we'll be out on the water again, very soon actually. In fact, when we move the boat down here, I'll film that as well. That's going to be a little bit of winter cruising, which is something I've never done, so that might have a little difference to it to make it somewhat interesting. But thank you for watching. Please come along on our journeys as we continue again on Pastor's Day Off on our journeys with Sovereign Grace. So I'll say goodbye for now.